Hey everyone, my name is Anina and we are going live in 1 minute.
Hey, my name is Shar and we are going live in 1 minute.
Hello, my name is Lettuce and we are going live in 1 minute.
Hey everyone, just stay tuned. We are going to be sharing our experience with you in Beijing through coronavirus, and we are going to be live in 1 minute.
Hey guys, we are in China right now, coming live to you in 1 minute.
Hello, my name is Lettuce and we will be live in 1 minute.
Stay tuned, you guys. We are going to be talking for 1 hour, and we are just waiting right now for the live streams to catch on all of our channels. My name is Anina, and we are going to be live in 1 minute.
Hey, my name is Shar and we are going live in a couple of seconds.
Hello, my name is Lettuce and we are going live in a couple of seconds.
All right, you guys. I think that we are actually live right now. So if you guys are out there, we can see your comments. Here we have Trolls Zalus. Why so many people here? He says. We can hear your super effects now, Shar. Why don't we all introduce ourselves? My name is Anina. I'm the CEO and founder of 360 Fashion Network. I've been in Beijing on lockdown basically since December, and I'm going to share a little bit of my experience with you. How about you, Shar?
Well, my name is Shar and my name is Shar. I've been in Beijing for 3 years now. And like Anina, I've stayed in Beijing throughout this coronavirus epidemic. So I've been at home maybe less than you, maybe starting January. Yeah, and from January until now. So I'm just staying at home.
How about you,
Lettuce?
Hello, so my name's Lettuce. I've been living in China for 3 years, but I was actually outside of China in January and February. I didn't come back to China until the 1st of March. So if you have any questions about coming back to China, then ask me, I can help you.
So yeah, on that note, actually, Lettuce, I want to know your experience going back to your China, because I've read a couple of news lately, and then there seem to be a lot of changes regarding that. But can you please just share your experience when you went back to China?
Yes, definitely. So I left the UK on the last day of February, and I flew out of London Heathrow Airport. It was very well organized. Before we boarded the plane, we had to complete a health form on WeChat, and they took our temperatures. Everyone on the plane was wearing a mask for the whole flight. Then when we landed in Beijing, it was very smooth sailing. We had to fill in another health form. Then they took our temperatures, and then we went through the normal quarantine procedures. And it was very efficient, very fast. And then simple, the normal things you do in an airport, collected my bag, went to the taxi rank. I was the first customer there, so I got straight in a taxi. And the taxi driver had put plastic up between his seat and my seat, which I thought was a very good solution to keeping the air separate. And then I was home. So for me, I thought it was quite an efficient system. The Beijing airport didn't have us waiting around for long periods of time.
So I have a question. Did anybody tell you that you should do 14 days quarantine by yourself?
Yes. So I'd read it online myself, and also my employer told me. So as soon as I arrived, I was put in quarantine.
But that was one of the things you told us, that you actually were going to go back to your place of domicile, but they told you that you couldn't be there because the air system was all connected. So actually, you're now not in your home.
Yes, that's right. So I'm actually in a different building. So normally I live in a building which has many apartments and they all share this same air system, and they were worried if I was infected that I could spread the illness. So they put me in a different building where I'm enclosed by myself. We don't share any air systems or anything. And the apartment is very nice, but it doesn't have my things. So that is one struggle. If you are going into quarantine, make sure you have everything you need.
Sounds like even before you get on the plane, you know, it would be a good idea to have some essentials with you because you said literally they didn't even have, you know, anything in that flat. And you had to, that's why you went back to your old apartment, but then you found out very quick from the security guard that actually people were running away from you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I live on a university campus, and I was put in this new apartment. I thought, oh, very nice, but there's nothing here. Let me quickly pop back to my old apartment. So I was walking back to my old apartment, and literally the people were running away from me. They're like, oh, you know, don't let her in, don't let her in. And then I was a bit worried, but luckily my neighbor lent me some things, like a blanket, and then other things I could order online. So online shopping will be your best friend. I've been able to order food and supplies like washing up liquid and even cutlery.
And how does that get delivered? Because here in my building complex, nobody is allowed in. So how are you getting that? If you can't go out, I at least can go down to get some packages.
Yeah.
I'm very, very lucky. The guard at the front of the gate is very kind, and I have his personal WeChat contact details. So anytime I get a delivery, I message him and politely ask him if he can bring the delivery to my door, which he does. He's very kind. He actually has a shopping trolley because I've been ordering big bottles of water. So he pushes the trolley to my apartment door and delivers it to me. So I am very fortunate at how kind and helpful people are being during this time.
So you talk to him in Chinese or in English?
A little bit. Well, WeChat is a very magical app. For anyone who knows WeChat, it will help you. So I can type in English and then he can translate it. And then he types in Chinese and I can translate it. But if it is an important message, sometimes I do ask a Chinese friend to write it in Chinese because I don't want anything to get lost in translation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
I just want to add something to Lettuce. A Filipino friend of mine just came back from the Philippines to Beijing, and she just shared her experience to us in the group. A few days ago, I think, I don't know if you guys have read that, the Beijing government said that anyone who is coming from other countries and then coming to Beijing, they should do the 14 days quarantine. So I just want to read to you guys what happened to her. Okay. So she said that this is her experience at the airport. So she said, I was among the last batch to leave the plane together with some Malaysians in the group. She waited in the plane for 5 hours, and sometimes it's a little bit cold, and sometimes it's stuffy in the plane. At 1 p.m., she left Dasing Airport by bus, escorted by police car, an army car, and another car in front of them. At 3:10 p.m., At 3:10 p.m., she arrived at Shunyi Exhibition Center. They needed to wait for a bus, and then the staff put all the luggage nearby the hall entrance. Then they collected the luggages, and some staff wearing white suits guided them to the hall. Then they were asked which district they are going to. and then they guided them to register. So after registering around like 10 minutes, they reminded them to do self-quarantine for 14 days. So everyone, as she said here, note, everyone has to wear masks, and please do not remove masks in the exhibition. No food and drinks will be provided there, but if you want some water, you can ask for water. During the registration, they asked whether if she has family in China to pick her up, or does she want to, like, the police to send her home, or if she wants to get her own DD, like taxi. So she opted for the police to send her to her house. After arriving at her house, the Wuye, so that's like the compound manager, right? The compound manager and some police officer were there to waiting for them at the gate. So apparently the police already contacted the community in charge in advance. After that, she needed to wait for at least 30 minutes before they escorted her to an empty apartment like you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so she did not say specifically why they didn't let her in her apartment. So I'm thinking that maybe it's the same reason as like the air system, right? So she did share some suggestions here. She said, okay, if you want to travel to Beijing in this period, because right now Beijing is really strict, bring some food, like what Lettuce said. Bring some food, biscuits, instant noodles. Bring your empty water bottle and ask the flight stewards to refill the water for you in flight, because there's no water available, right? Remember that. And if you don't eat supper provided by the airplane, you can keep it for breakfast or lunch. Okay, and you can also ask the stewardess for extra food, I guess. Yeah, and try to stay calm and rest.
Wow, what an experience. Thank you for sharing it with us so we know what could happen.
Yeah, if anyone is coming to Beijing right now, be careful, I guess, or not go to Beijing, because I don't know, maybe it's just Beijing that's doing this mandatory 14-day quarantine. I'm not sure, right? Because I've heard a lot of foreigners asking online whether they need to do 14-day quarantines or not. There's a lot of confusion right now. But for Beijing, it is certain you need to do 14 days quarantine.
Yeah, so I think definitely from everything that I know, even if you're Chinese and you're returning to Beijing from your hometown, for example, my chief designer, she finally got sick of being holed up for a month with her family, and she said, "That's it, I'm coming back to Beijing," and then she had to stay 14 days in quarantine, and literally they were tracking her to know if she stayed at home. So she absolutely could not go out. She could only operate online, just the same as you, Lettuce. So I think that it's not only for people, outside of China coming here. It's also for people who are outside of any of the major metropolis. I assume the same is in Shenzhen, Shanghai, etc. And I'm really sure that they're doing that to just slowly reintroduce people, because they know, the situation is X here, and they don't want it to become X squared. And so I know in Shenzhen that a lot of the migrant workers are now coming back. In the beginning, our factories only had 30% people. Now they say they have 50% people. And so we're able to start the manufacturing. Also, supply chains are starting to come back online. and the system is really starting to work again. So, Shar, why don't you share with us a little bit your experience, and then tell us also about your YouTube experience.
My YouTube experience. Okay. So I did a video. If you don't know me, the name is Shar. That's my YouTube channel. I did a video because, a lot of YouTubers are doing coronavirus theme video, and my channel focuses more on like how-to video. So I wanted to still do coronavirus, but I want to stick to my niche. That's like how-to videos. So what I did is how to protect yourself from coronavirus, and then just gave a lot of the small tips that I do at home to keep myself healthy and safe. Right? There's no news. I didn't share any news. I didn't share any political beliefs. Okay, so when I finished the video, I wanted to share it to my Facebook because, my friends, I want my friends to watch it as well. So I share it. A minute later, after I shared the video, a minute later, I got the notification from Facebook. You cannot use Facebook because you are doing something kind of like a spam. Okay. I thought I was just logged out because I've been sharing the video through my phone. So I said, okay, let me just open up my laptop and see whether it's just my phone. So I tried to log in again, and then they said, okay, you cannot use Facebook because you've been doing a lot of spamming. Okay. So maybe I searched online for a lot of stuff. Maybe they said change your password. Okay, first of all, I can't change my password because I can't go in my account. So what I did is like, okay, I forgot my password and then change it from there. Okay, I changed my password. It's still, I've been doing a lot of spam. Ah, okay. So I did this for, let's say, 3 days, and then I gave up. So, okay, I'm just going to create a new Facebook account so I can still talk to my family because, I am from the Philippines. I'm not Chinese. I need to talk to my mom, my sister, and my brother, and my entire family because they're worried about me. They don't even believe that I'm okay, that there's no such thing as panic buying here in China. So I tried to create an account for 4 times, different emails, different phone numbers. And guess what? I still can't create an account. They said they cannot give me an account because I need to make sure that I am a real person. So I uploaded my ID, my passport, and different kinds of ID, 3 kinds of ID. Still nothing. Then I asked my sister to help me. I was thinking like maybe it's a VPN kind of thing because we are in China, because maybe they've detected that I've been using VPN. Okay, so my sister, I said, hey, can you please help me create an account? And please help me create a Gmail account as well and buy a new phone number, please. So it was successful. She was the success. But the time that I use it here in China, I logged in using my computer. I cleared my cookies. I know what I'm supposed to do. I cleared my cookies. And then they said, oh, you cannot use Facebook because you've been doing spam. It's a new account. So I don't know. I'm not sure whether it was triggered because I shared coronavirus, how to protect yourself from coronavirus. I'm not sure whether it was that, but I know a lot of YouTubers are doing coronavirus videos, so I'm not sure why my Facebook got blocked out of a sudden. So I'm not on Facebook.
Wow, that's just so shocking. I don't understand why that would be happening, but we're in this YouTube group, a whole group of YouTubers, and when coronavirus started, a lot of people who had channels that are for posting about Chinese life and so on, everybody started to create, videos that were telling the story. And then what happened after a minute or two, their videos would get totally demonetized, and also the whole video would take a dive bomb. And I myself didn't post Corona stuff for so long, but then when everybody was talking about this, I thought, oh, we need to get the word out of what's happening here, because all these American friends were like, there's no news coming out of China. There's no news coming out of China. And we're like, we're posting news. Like, we even did all those videos and stuff, remember? And we all like contributed videos and so on. But then, those videos just were not getting through because YouTube, Facebook, Instagram were all like downgrading the videos, which is really weird. I started posting about Corona, and normally I get like 200 or 300 views on a video. I had 8.
Wow.
8. And I thought, maybe nobody's interested in this. So then I just posted it on my stories, which also got only 6, But then those 6 people, then those 6 people were like, wow, thank you so much for posting this. Like, so amazing to see what's really going on. We don't have any news there. And then I started calling my friends, and they're all like, can you send us some video from China? There's nothing coming out. So, and I'm like, but that's weird because we're all posting. So I don't understand, what that's about. So, so we're all in that group. So I think first thing is when I started to learn about coronavirus, I was really thinking, wow, I'm here, I have my business. We're in the middle of making robotic dresses, and I immediately thought, you know what? I need to bring everything from my lab into my house. And so anything that we could carry, transport, stick in a van, I brought it over, and then we built up a lab inside of my apartment. And so the next thing is that then everybody came here, and we camped out for 3 days, and the whole flat looked like we were building bombs or something. We had electronics everywhere. It took like a whole week to put it all back. And then all of a sudden we heard that they were going to be closing the trains. And so my software engineer and some of the other people that I was working with, they were like, oh, we better go home. So they actually got in cars and drove to their hometowns, where then they immediately became quarantined there, as many of the cities then started to go into lockdown and asking people to stay home. So I don't know if you guys had any experience like that it really kind of unfolded second by second, and then we were all on social media in WeChat saying, hey, this is what's happening here. Is this happening to you? So I really do think getting in groups and talking to each other and comparing information is really important. How about you, Shar?
Definitely. I was not that aware that there was this virus going on. I'm not sure. Call me naive, but I'm so sorry. I didn't read a lot of news. I just know that a lot of people were wearing masks. When was Chinese New Year again?
January.
20 plus, right? 20 plus. So, yeah. Before Chinese New Year, I actually invited my sister to come to China. I already bought her plane ticket. So when she arrived in China, we were going out with my boyfriend. And then she kept asking me, hey, why are they wearing masks? And I didn't really know what to answer her. I just told her, oh, maybe they're cold because, in winter it's quite cold, so they're protecting their lips. Oh my God. And then when we met my boyfriend outside, she then asked my boyfriend, hey, do you know why they're wearing masks? And then my boyfriend actually told her, hey, there's a virus going on. What virus? We are walking outside with no mask at all. We were in subways, pretending everything is okay. But then, oh my God. So after that, a few days later, after we went out a couple of times, my sister got sick. She caught a fever, and she was in China, and then we were just panicking. I was contacting my mom. Mom, do you know what medicine should we buy from the drugstore? Because I don't have any idea, because I've never gotten this sick. And plus there's a virus, right? So we were thinking that maybe we should go to the hospital to have her checked. But then I was a little bit worried, like maybe if we go to the hospital, then she will get the virus, then everything will just be a little bit messy. So we just went to the drugstore and just bought like anti-fever medicine and some cold medicine, a bunch of them, maybe different kinds of anti-fever medicine, the syrup kind of cold medicine, the capsules. I don't know, just let her drink a bunch of them. And we didn't know what we were drinking. So after maybe 2 weeks later, she got him better. And then I was sick. So yeah, so I got her fever. So I got sick as well. I said, oh my God, this is just the worst thing that's ever happening. Because while I was taking care of her, because this is actually my bed, so I was staying below. I'm staying here right now where I'm at, so I don't catch the fever as well. But then I got sick. But then I said, okay, I'm sick, but it's okay because I'm in China. I'm thinking that this is not a virus; it's just a common virus. It's just a fever. So why not? Let's just buy a plane ticket back to Philippines, and then you will be safer there. Because right now it's a little bit scary here in China. So I bought her a plane ticket back home 3 days later, and then sent her back in the airport. And then the day after she went back to the Philippines announced the travel ban. Anyone traveling from China to Philippines, they're not allowed to go to Philippines. So
I think it's really interesting what was happening on your side, Lettuce. You were outside of the country.
Yeah.
And I guess because I'm in technology, we really, I think we're the first ones to know, because technology, supply chain, like, I don't know, maybe we just better at like communicating or something. But since December, I knew this virus was here, and I was like, I'm not going anywhere. That's why I moved my whole lab indoors. That's why, like, I had all the interns, like, whoever wanted to come, I told them, like, hey, we're going to be working, from my home, if that's okay for you. Because a lot of them like to come and work with us during the holidays because, they learn a lot and stuff. So we had a couple of them come. And then, as I mentioned, my software engineer, she went by car back to her family home, which is about 1.5 hours away from Beijing. And so then what we were doing, we were like, okay, we need to keep working. So I stuffed, all these plastic bubble wrap bags full of technology and, batteries and, everything that we were working on the hardware side so that she could take it with her. And then what happened immediately afterwards was that then all of the courier services stopped. So that was super lucky. But then my hardware engineer, he was in Shenzhen, and how could I mean, you can't send batteries anyways. That's always a nightmare. But then how was I going to get him these computer electronics? But it was so lucky that, basically we all got into this lockdown area. I think the scary thing for me that happened was that people were calling me up who are Americans, and they were saying, you need to leave now. And I'm like, I don't think I can leave. I have a lot of work to do here, and I have to build this robot. And there was this really big conflict inside because, yeah, everything is here. If I leave, what can I do? And so we all talked really internally. And as we saw that the Chinese government was immediately reacting and putting, roadblock bans, travel bans, and mandatory mask wearing, and building hospitals and all of this, we just sort of said, like, okay, we think this is the right place to be because this is the only place in the world that the government will say don't do it and everybody will listen.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of the problem that's happening overseas is that you all saw it coming, but you didn't think it was gonna go over to you. And so it was so odd. I was calling people and saying, hey, you guys, you need to be aware of this. They're like, yeah, be safe. Anina, be safe, and I'm like, no, you need to start buying masks. You need to start having a plan because, there's the fashion weeks just went on. I couldn't believe that the fashion weeks continued as if everything were normal. I mean, I was really shocked by this, but that's why we were like, okay, we know this is the epicenter, but we're being given really good information. And I don't know if you guys, Shar and Lettuce, you remember when the government really started stepping up the communication and saying, they wrote the letter to the foreigners, They wrote this letter to the foreigners, like, dear foreigners, there's this thing called the coronavirus, and we just want to make sure everybody's safe. So would you please cooperate with us, And then that went flying around. But I really want to know what was happening, right after Chinese New Year when this was all starting. What was happening over there? Did you get any info?
Why did you decide to go out of China?
Well, I left China on the 26th of December for the winter holiday because I teach at a university. We get winter holiday. And I was due back mid-February. But coronavirus meant that semester was delayed by 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it was difficult. Everyone in my home country was telling me not to come back to China. Every day China was on the news, and it was multiple times a day, radio, TV. It became a daily conversation. People would talk about it. I was actually volunteering in a shop, so I would speak to the customers. And anyway, I had to come back to China, and there were a couple of reasons why. Number one, I had nowhere to live in England. China is my home. When I'm in England, I have to live with relatives, and it's inconvenient. Also, my job was restarting. Amazingly, the Education Authority had decided that this semester would be online. So classes were going to resume. So I had to come back to China because there's a really bad time difference between China and the UK. If I was to stay in the UK, I'd have to teach from midnight to 7:30 a.m. And that just sounded like a nightmare. Now, I was worried, but I prepared. I brought masks, I brought wipes, like disinfectant wipes, I brought gloves, I brought food. And I was really pleased. At the airport, everyone was calm. The London airport, the Beijing airport, everybody was calm, and it wasn't as scary as the media had portrayed. People weren't running around like, oh my gosh, coronavirus, So that was reassuring. And when I got to my campus, all my colleagues and all the staff were calm, and they did their jobs very efficiently. And I thought it was good. But yes, in the UK, just as I was leaving, there started to become shortages. For example, I went to 3 shops and I couldn't get any hand sanitizer. And I was going to like pharmacies and I couldn't get it. And now, I think this last week, there's been shortages of toilet paper and pasta. You've probably seen some viral videos. Yeah. So about 4 weeks ago, my family and friends were saying, do not go back to China. And now I think some of them are putting themselves in self-quarantine. So I think it didn't make a difference if I came back or not. Yeah.
I really feel like it was so scary. I guess the times when I felt really afraid was when my American business friends started calling me and chatting me and saying, where are you? And I'm like, I'm in Beijing. And they're like, they're shutting down the flights. You need to get out now, or you may not be able to get out later. And then I got like a message from the United States Embassy. And then, you know, my family would forward me news that was saying, you know, they're going to close all the flights. And so this inner conflict of really, do I need to leave here immediately, or do I think that this, you know, if I follow the instructions, if I stay inside, you know, can this be, you know, good? And so it was really terrifying when people were like, we've booked our flights out. You know, we don't want to get trapped here. But that, I think that just really shows the mentality of the time of people thinking that this virus isn't going to go anywhere, that it somehow has borders, and not really understanding, you know, how quickly it spreads. And the best thing would have been really nobody going anywhere, which is why I think the travel bans were some of the best decisions to make, be they the flights or the trains or the, you know, then they eventually even stopped cars and so on. So, I mean, everything just stopped all the post, everything, because that's the only way to stop it.
Shah, did you consider going back to the Philippines with your sister?
Not really. I didn't want to go back. I'm not sure why, but I was just afraid that if I come back, I'm gonna bring the virus with me, because I've stayed in China for that long. Well, my sister, she needed to go back because when she's gonna stay here, it's gonna be a risk for her. So I just felt like, you know, I don't want to carry the virus to the Philippines. I don't want to be that person. But a lot of my fellow Filipinos, they opted to go back home. So right now there are a lot of like unconfirmed cases of coronavirus in the Philippines. Yeah, so because, you know, Philippines is a little bit slow there. But a lot of the Filipinos who went back during the beginning of the coronavirus, they wanted to come back to China. So I'm so sorry, but, you know, to the Filipinos who went back to Philippines and now you want to go back to China, I'm a little bit confused, because you guys want to be safe, right, from coronavirus. And right now you're in the Philippines, then you then also do the 14-day quarantine. Now the virus is there in the Philippines. Now you want to go back to China. It's a little bit, you know, a little bit selfish, you guys. For those OFWs, that's called the overseas Filipino workers. If you're trying to, or if you want to go back to China, just please don't until everything is okay. Because if you come back to China, there's nothing for you to do anyway, right? If you want to go out, you can't go out. You can, but you need to wear a mask. If you want to go somewhere, where would you go? The malls?
There's no one in the malls. I went to the malls and all the stores are closed except the restaurant, you know? Walk around the mall and do what? Nothing to do in the mall.
some restaurants, they don't even allow you to eat in the restaurants, right? Everything is like you either take it away or you don't. So what else is there for you to do in China? So just better stay in your country. But if you're like Lettuce, that you're just gonna come back to China because you really need to work, then you can come back to China. But then it's the Philippines. We don't really have any difference. Well,
Interesting, definitely. I think that one thing that really helped me was getting accurate information, and that was really responsive. We all know how responsive Chinese social media is, and the fact that things just zoom around really quickly. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but in the groups, people started saying, "Hey, don't post fake information. Only listen to the official information from these official channels." So I don't think overseas, though, that people really can trust the official news channels. And so where do they get the good information? And so in that case, I think it makes more sense to have discussions about it, because someone would send me some, panicked news article about, I don't know, tons of burning bodies in Wuhan and so on. And then I would just feel this panic attack come, and I would then send it to some trusted colleagues and be like, "What do you think? Do you think this is real?" And then the panic, first they talk you down off the ledge, the panic comes down, and then you start looking at facts. You're like, well, based on the World War II, they couldn't keep that information quiet, So I don't think if that was true that they would be able to keep something like that quiet. Like, social media is so fast, they can't take it down fast enough. So just disqualifying things by thinking it through logically. And even yesterday, I was on the phone with my robotics partner in Slovenia. Now they've closed all the borders of Slovenia and told everybody to stay home because Slovenia is right next to Italy. And he can't believe that people are being told not to wear masks. And it's just shocking to me, and I think so incredibly bad information. They're like, and then I talk to my American friends, and they're like, "Yeah, but the mask doesn't stop the coronavirus unless it's N95." And I'm like, that's not the only point of the mask. The mask is there to keep you from touching your nose and your mouth. And the glasses you should wear out so that you're not rubbing and touching your eyes. I do a podcast, and you guys do YouTube channel. And when you're interviewing somebody, tell me, how many times does someone touch their nose unconsciously and you have to edit it out, right? It's ridiculous. So, and then secondly, there are actual factual studies that show N95 mask effectiveness, 3M mask effectiveness, then tissue paper made into a mask effectiveness, and medical mask effectiveness, and no mask effectiveness. And clearly no mask effectiveness is not effective. So, and then they're like, "Yeah, but it only stops it if you're sneezing out." It's like, no. You are having a visual reminder. You are not touching your nose and mouth. And it's true. I don't know, sometimes I get dust and I sneeze. And so, even in those cases, you are, protecting other people. What's your opinion, you guys?
I don't know. I changed my opinion recently because there was a news article from World Health Organization. That's the WHO, right? They said that the surgical mask does not really protect you from anything. It actually protects other people from you. Well, technically, it is true, right? The reason why you're wearing mask is to not infect other people. And there was like, with that an infographic picture shared via Instagram to me by a friend, and then it says there that you're not supposed to wear a mask unless you are sick.
I totally disagree.
Every sick people, yeah, I know, but when you think about it, because there's shortage of masks, because a lot of people, like a lot of Chinese people, they went abroad and bought the mask all over the world, and they came to China to send it to Wuhan, right? That's the whole thing why we have shortage now. So I'm not sure. So right now I'm a little bit conflicted about wearing masks. Maybe because we're just in China and we are required to wear masks.
No, the science is there. Wearing mask is drastically reducing the possibility that you will get any kind of sickness. I mean, that you will be exposed to sickness. It's like two-way street, right? Like stuff coming in at least is slowed down, delayed. You touching your face is totally, not going to be happening. And also the sneezing out or the possibility of you spreading it. I just completely disagree. Even if it's a bicycle mask, I think that people should absolutely be wearing it. It's like plastic gloves. You need to wear them when you're outside because you do not want to be touching things that other people are touching.
True. I have a very interesting question here. I'm sorry I can't read your name. It said she asked, or he is asking, what about Vicks Vapor Rub to the face? Do you think that can stop the virus?
No, I think that would just burn your skin.
I have no idea. I actually haven't done any research into anything, I'll be honest. But I do know that I wear my mask. If any visitors come, they have a mask on, I have a mask. As for Vicks Vapor Rub, I have no idea. I know it smells nice. It reminds me of my childhood. My mum used to always put it on me. But I have no idea if it helps against coronavirus, I'm afraid.
I don't think so. Definitely not. So you guys, we're coming up on our 1 hour here. And so I think that, we're going to be live stream again tomorrow. So if you have, questions or you want to tell friends to join us, please do. And no problem. I think the most important thing that we've all shared is stopping the mobility, stopping seeing people. That is really what's working.
Definitely. Yeah, quarantine works. There's no need to go outside. You can work online now. You can do online shopping. So yeah, stay inside and protect yourself and other people.
Yeah, Lettuce, I have a question because right now you're working, right? You're working and you're teaching all your classes.
Yeah, I have 12 classes a week. So I have 3 classes every day, Tuesday to Friday. And I enjoy it. It's not the same, obviously. It's not as good as teaching in classroom face-to-face, but it works. But I can tell people more about that tomorrow. And also, Shah, I'm interested in hearing about how coronavirus has affected you, your daily life, and your work life. That'd be interesting.
Well, I just have one question, Lettuce. Yeah. I just have one question regarding your work right now. Because a lot of people, especially in the Philippines, they are asking people to not work, right? They're asking people to have this forced leave kind of thing. Are you getting paid?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Your salary.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. Now there are some reductions because we're not going to campus. We work on a campus that's very far away outside Beijing, and they give us extra money for that. but we don't need to go there now. So that extra money has not been paid to us. But I get my regular salary for teaching, which is good. But yeah, that's a good point, Shah. This has had a big effect on people's incomes, and people must be very stressed about it. Yeah. I know some of my colleagues are paying double rent because they have still got their apartment in China, but they're in America now. So it can be hard financially at the moment.
I think that what's also really an incredible thought is that this is an opportunity. 1.3 billion people are all learning to go online. They are all learning tech skills, to have classes, to give classes. They're learning how to operate, software. And then the software companies are having this incredible opportunity to learn how to make it easier for people to go online and to teach online and give the meetings online and do things online. I invested last year, bizarrely, in so much live streaming software and event software. And my plan for this year, I don't know why, was to do everything and do all these events and activities online. So I think that for businesses out there, that you also need to start thinking of opportunity. How can we use this to, add new features to our services? How can we create new opportunities to help other businesses get online? And so I think that you really need to take back from a business perspective and look at the opportunity. Definitely think that after this period, we are going to end up with people who couldn't even barely operate their cell phone, that now they've just gone up a whole new level. Older people, younger people, like already. So I'm sure your students have become super savvy and are doing things that they couldn't do in the beginning when you went online. So I think we need to be thinking as a business, yes, during the coronavirus, how can we improve our service? How can we interact online? How can we go online? And then also think of the opportunity after coronavirus that we are going to have a whole world that knows how to go online and do events online and interact online and be social online. That is just an incredible opportunity. So don't be thinking it's all totally bad. You need to be preparing for this new world we're entering in.
Yeah, right. Definitely.
All right, you guys, so that's it. That's 1 hour. My name is Anina. I'm the CEO and founder of 360 Fashion Network, and I have two amazing YouTubers and friends here. Shar, tell everybody how to find you.
Yeah, so my name is Shar. You can find me on YouTube. That's the name is Shar. My Instagram is Charmaine Paula. Yeah, the name is Shar and Charmaine Paula. How about Lettuce? How about you?
Hello, so my name is Lettuce. I have a YouTube channel called Lettuce Travels, and I've made some videos about deciding to come back to China and what life is like now that I'm here. So if you're interested, please check out my YouTube channel.
Tell us the URL.
It is YouTube.com/C/Lettuce Travels.
Awesome. And as you guys know, fashion technology is my thing, and you can find us all on 360 Fashion everywhere. So we will be back tomorrow at the same time for 1 hour to share a little bit more with you and answer any questions. So definitely tune in and stay safe. And we hope that us sharing our experiences with you is kind of bringing the panic level down.
Okay, just one thing. Okay, Young Stark. Okay, I know you are, I don't know, you're just a little bit funny. Well, thank you for the $2 tip. He said, My butt makes noises. Want to talk about it? Well, baby, young Stark, let's talk about your butt making noise tomorrow at 10, still the same time, right?
Yep.
So, a young Stark, come back tomorrow and we'll talk about your butt.